What's up, guys? Welcome back to Roode Wrestling. This is Safe here, and I'm here to preview Fastlane, which starts this Sunday. It's a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view and the last SmackDown pay-per-view before we head over into WrestleMania territory. Fastlane as a whole, I'm not really a big fan of the card, and it looks like there's going to be a few more matches added on because there's really not that many matches on the overall card. But let's just go straight into this predictions video. First, we have Becky Lynch teaming up with Naomi, going against Natalya and Carmella, and this is just a throwaway filler match for me. It just got added on last minute during SmackDown because Becky and Carmella just had a small beef, I guess. Carmella, at this point, she's going to lose her Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, there's no doubt about it. She's going to pull a Baron Corbin because look at how she's been booked. She's barely been featured on TV. And if Asuka ends up going to SmackDown, I highly doubt they're going to end up having Asuka lose her streak to Carmella. So I'm pretty sure she's going to lose her briefcase. As for this match, nothing too exciting here. I can probably predict that Becky Lynch and Naomi end up getting the victory because it only really makes sense. So let's just move on to the tag team titles. The New Day versus the Usos. And this is one of my favorite feuds of all time. At least in terms of more modern times. Because they really are going to inspire a generation. I mean, look at the matches they had last year. I mean, they were really the only saving grace on Battleground. They had that amazing Sin City Street fight on SmackDown. They had that fantastic Hell in a Cell match. Which I don't believe we've ever seen a tag team Hell in a Cell match. I think we saw a handicap match in a Hell in a Cell between DX and the McMahons and the Big Show, but that doesn't really count as a tag team match. So yeah, they're going to inspire a generation of tag teams. But at Hell in a Cell, that was supposed to be the last match. And as much as I love these guys' in-ring work and their promo ability and just their character work, this really does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to the continuity of the storyline because, they said that was it, but now they're going to give it to us here. I do think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to get involved somehow. They gave an awesome hype package on SmackDown. I'll give them credit for that. But I think the Bludgeon Brothers will definitely get involved, and I do think there probably won't be a winner from this match. I don't think the Usos are going to win, but I think they will come out as champions still. Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. On my fantasy booking for WrestleMania, which you guys should check out, I said that for this match, I would have no winner. I would have this match go 2 minutes, and I'd have Jinder come in and just attack both guys with a chair. Jinder is going to get involved somehow, but I don't think there should be a decisive winner between Randy and Bobby Roode, because that's still a match you could do down the line, because I feel like that would be really good for Bobby Roode to get a win over Randy Orton. But I do think this will also not have a winner. If it does, I don't see Bobby Roode losing his title here. So I do think Jinder will get involved somehow, and that's my prediction. I'm going to say no contest or a disqualification. Basically, Bobby Roode, just like the Usos, leaves Fastlane with his title. So now I move on to Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev, and this is another one of those filler matches. These two are just too good to be thrown together in a match like this. Shinsuke, they want to give him something to do before, obviously, his inevitable WrestleMania match against possibly AJ Styles, but more on that later. And then Rusev, he's been so over. They haven't pulled the trigger on him. He needs a feature spot at WrestleMania. He can't just be thrown in the Battle Royal. Either they are going to win the tag titles at Mania, which I don't think they're going to go in that direction, or he has to be somehow involved in that U.S. Championship match. Basically, Rusev and or Aiden English have to get a big win at Mania. But here, there's no way he's going to beat Shinsuke. It just would not make sense. I love Rusev, but if he won, that would honestly be a travesty. And it would just show how incompetent the WWE are, especially at booking Nakamura, who has had some awful booking over the last year. So Nakamura wins here. I thought their promo was really funny when Nakamura started saying that when he wins, it's going to be Nakamura Day, and he started singing it like Aiden English does. So I thought that was gold on SmackDown. But overall, Nakamura is going to win here, and what could be a very good match, but in terms of story, it's just filler for me. Next, I'm going to move on to the Women's Championship match. We have Charlotte Flair defending her title against Ruby Riott. I don't think anyone's going to get involved with this match. We could possibly see the referee ejecting the Riott squad from ringside after, their shenanigans. But I do think Charlotte Flair will win clean here. I do think Ruby Riott, she has a lot of potential, and you could do a lot of stuff with her after WrestleMania. I'm not a fan of the Riott squad at all. I think she could just do it on her own. I think they're pairing them up together more for Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan's sake, and less about Ruby because she's ready. They're not so ready. They're still not so polished. So as for this match, I think Charlotte will win. And I do think Asuka will come out and challenge Charlotte, because you look at the Raw direction and it looks like it's going to be Nia and Alexa, and they're kind of building up that story a little bit. But here, it would only make sense to have Asuka Charlotte. That could be the match, that money women's match at Mania, because you look at it, ever since the women's revolution or evolution started, we haven't had a great one-on-one women's match. Yes, we had some good triple threat matches, some fatal four-ways, but here I think it would be really good. I'm not going to say Austin Rock levels, because that would be ridiculous, but it could be a very good start. The two best women in the company, there's no doubt about it. I think they could have a fantastic match if they were given enough time, and I'm really excited for the prospect of this happening. So finally, I want to end off on the six-pack challenge between AJ Styles, John Cena, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin. Now, wow, that's a lot of guys, and frankly, some of them don't really deserve to be in the spotlight. Dolph Ziggler, if he wasn't in this match, I highly doubt he would even be on this card. Seriously. He has not been booked well at all. They kind of spit all over the U.S. title because he won it. He basically won the U.S. title at Clash of Champions for a surprise factor. That's it. Just to make it unpredictable, which fine, but it doesn't make sense because the next night he just put it in the ring and left, came back at the Rumble at number 30, got eliminated pretty quickly, and then gets a match for the WWE Championship. Like, what about the U.S. title? Like, what was the point of all that? Baron, on the other hand, another one of the victims of poor booking over the past year. He won the Money in the Bank title when he probably wasn't ready, and then they just cashed it in and lost. Like, that really didn't make any sense. But I'm actually a fan of Corbin. I think that they need to kind of start all over, blank canvas with Corbin, fresh start. But here, putting him in this match, again, it doesn't make sense. It lowers the value of the title. You don't see guys like Bray Wyatt getting a match against Brock Lesnar. I love Bray Wyatt, but he's been booked poorly, and so has Baron. So it just makes the WWE Championship look weak. As for John Cena, Cena is Cena. I think it makes sense to have him in this match, if only it wasn't so crowded. It would have honestly made more sense if it was Kevin, Sami, Cena, and AJ. But adding Corbin and Ziggler is just overkill for me. Kevin and Sami, I'm interested in the little sub-feud that they have within this match. You had Sami haluva kicking Kevin Owens and getting the victory. He didn't really turn on him per se, because he did say after the match, this isn't for the WWE Championship, this is just to prove that I'm the best. So are they still together? I still think this is going to set up a match at WrestleMania. I think the plan of action is going to be, they're both going to be in the ring. Basically the ring is going to be cleared. Kevin is going to tell Sami to lay down for him, and then Sami's going to kick out, and they're just going to brawl and basically eliminate themselves from the match. Now, as for AJ, he has to win this match. I know John Cena said that he wants to win and that they should do a triple threat match at Mania, and while some people could be excited over that, I think that's best to do after Mania. You could do that at Backlash, which a lot of people would be excited for, and that could main event Backlash easily. But at Mania, we want to see AJ Shinsuke. We want to see that Wrestle Kingdom rematch. We've been asking for it for such a long time, and we want it. Have AJ win here. Have him pin Cena. Make him look strong. He has not looked strong at all ever since winning the title. He lost to John Cena clean. The whole Sami-Kevin feud has not been really the best. Him being inserted in that, he's kind of been an afterthought in that feud. What I could see them doing, which sadly I could see them doing, I don't see them giving the title to Cena. I don't think they're going to break the whole 16-time World Championship record here at Fastlane. I think that should be at a WrestleMania or a Rumble or SummerSlam, one of the big four. But I do see them possibly giving it to Dolph Ziggler. I know that sounds so ridiculous, I know. But again, the surprise factor. They could give it to Ziggler and have him drop it the very next night to AJ. I wouldn't like that because AJ has not looked the best, but I guess it could be okay when you think about it. Ziggler could end up pinning somebody else like Corbin, really putting the crowd on their feet, not necessarily in a good way, but really like what is going on, and then have AJ put his rematch clause, beat Dolph clean as a whistle, and go on to WrestleMania. They could do that, and I wouldn't be totally against it. Just because I think it would be kind of cool. I know I said earlier it wouldn't make sense. The whole surprise thing at Clash of Champions didn't make sense, but I feel like here it makes a little bit more sense. But I would be totally okay with AJ retaining clean as long as he pins Cena and as long as he looks really good. But anyways, tell me what your predictions are of Fastlane in the comment section below. And look for our review on Monday, hopefully, for Fastlane. Please like, share, and subscribe to Rosie Wrestling, and thank you for watching.